Begin, like I said on the beginning of the video, I'm headed to Second and Charles with the boys, so y'all pray for me. It's hard shopping for comics with the boys. Hey, welcome back, peeps. Welcome to the channel. The channel is Fred Hall Direct Edition. And today we're going to be looking at some local pickups that I got from my comic book shops. Before we do that, I wanted to show you some of my autographed wrestling memorabilia. The first one is the Midnight Rockers. They signed it to Fred when I should have just got them to sign it. That's Marty and forget their name, whatever. It's not Marty and Jannetty. That's freaking Shawn Michaels team. But the second one is Jake the Snake Roberts. I remember when I met Jake the Snake, I was like, "Hey, how much for the picture?" "Hey, the picture's going to be $20. Just put the money in the hat." I was like, "Hey, Jake, what's up, man?" He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. I just came off of surgery." I was like, "All right, you need to chill out, because shoot, I'm a fan. I've been a fan since the 80s. But he just came off of, like, I think, back surgery. So, you know, but he was still pretty cool, man. We even, like, hugged up a little bit on my picture, my personal picture I took with Jake the Snake. So, very cool dude. He's from around the corner of Stone Mountain, Georgia. The third picture, woo! Nature Boy Ric Flair. I couldn't get him to sign it, but at the same time, too, I'm happy to have it. And the last one is Gail Kim. And when I actually met her at one of my first Dragon Cons I ever went to. And I kind of froze up when I met her. I was like, "I've been following your career since the beginning." And she was like, "Do you want me to sign this? Who you want me to sign it to?" I was like, "Just sign it to Fred." But anyway, you know how we do it on Direct Edition. Let's get into our sponsor. And this episode of Direct Edition is brought to you by My Fake Darth Maul from China. All right, let's get into it. You know how we do it on Direct Edition. Let's get into some comics. Okay, first off, I don't want to show you guys a lot of stuff that you guys already have in your videos, but you got me, man. I'm actually on the Secret Empire train. I actually picked up the little book that came with Free Comic Book Day. See, which has a striking similarities to Chris Evans, who actually plays Captain America in the Avenger movies. So, you guys got me on board, man. So I told Adam at my comic book shop, I said, "Hey, man, go ahead and reorder me Secret Empire number 0. So I got 0, 1, and actually number 3 is out right now. So not only did I pick up the Free Comic Book Day and number 1, I also got number 2. I just haven't had the chance to sit and read these right now because I've been so busy, man, working, grinding, you know, keeping the hustle down. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like I told my boy, that boy Dario. I think I'm going to go ahead and just collect all the books first and then go back and read it. So I'll stay away from the spoilers and stuff like that because, you know, I like to, you know, read my trade paperbacks and hardcovers. And that's the only way I can kind of stay current with the story is if I go ahead and stockpile them, don't give a crap, show you guys the comics in my videos, and then go back and read them. So there you have it, Secret Empire. And number 3 is waiting on me at the comic book shop. I just have to go and pick it up. So it's all good. All right, girls and gentlemen, we're going to go straight to my second and Charles haul. And this is a 50 center that I got from Second and Charles. I've been going on this kick lately where I'm like, "Hey, Fred, you got a $20 limit. So if you buy 50-cent comics, $20 worth, you will have 40 comics." But of course, I failed that test a couple times. But you know, at Second and Charles, I picked up a couple. So this is the prologue to The Blackest Night. I couldn't leave it in there for 50 cents. I was like, "Hey, let's do this, man." And I love the Black Hand, man. The Black Hand is a pretty cool character. Like I said, he reminds me a lot of X-Men's Necrosha, where the dead was raised. And yeah, so 50 cents. So, you know, a couple weeks back, I showed my hardcover of Forever Evil with the Crime Syndicate. So when I saw number 1 for $2.25, I said, "Hey, that's cheaper than the cover price of $3.99. So it's Forever Evil number 1, David Finch. definitely had to pick it up, even though I already have the story, like I said, in hardcover. So I just couldn't resist, man. Pretty cool, man. Love it. And the next book I picked up is Punisher #1. I got it for $1.95. You know how I feel about Frank Castle. You know I'm a huge Frank Castle fan. And yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, and only for $1.25. You know, I'm at $1.95. You know, you can't beat that. So still cheaper than cover price because Marvel is getting out of hand. They got a Deadpool book right now that's $10. And I still am debating on should I pick it up because it costs almost as much as a trade paperback. So, but I thought this is pretty cool. Punisher #1, and yeah. Also, too, just to let you know, this is the second printing. Um, so yeah, it really doesn't matter to me, but hopefully I can find the first printing. Okay, and the next book I picked up is this Aquaman #12. You guys know I'm a huge Black Manta fan, and when I saw this for 50 cents, I was like, hey, why not? You know, I can't leave it. You know what I'm saying? Not for 50 cents, you know? Especially with my boy Black Manta. So a quick thing about Black Manta was a supervillain that went down into the ocean to find a place for the black people that was being oppressed here in America. And his backstory is pretty cool. I know they revamped it a couple times to make him a little bit more vicious and cold. I know at one time he was like this autistic kid who, you know, they put him in water, and that's the only way he would find comfort. And he would come out of his shell is when he was like submerged into cold water. But I like his original origins more because he's almost like a extreme Malcolm X, but a super bad guy. So I love Black Manta, man. He's pretty cool, man. And yeah, Aquaman number what? 12? New 52? Why not? 50 cents. Now, I literally had to stop myself from buying 2 of these books because I was on a budget. And I just really, really like this Spider-Man 2099 because I actually have the one that came back. I mean, that came out maybe in like, how old were we? That came out probably like 1992, 1993 at the most. So I always like to, you know, get the #1s in any run, you know. And yeah, this is Spider-Man 2099 #1. Very cool cover. And if I get a chance, I'm going to go back and get the second copy. So I got this for, let's see how much I got it for. $1.95. Way cool. So since I missed out on the recent release of Young Blood #1, I went back and got one of the old school copies of Young Blood #1 for 50 cents. This would probably be like my 3rd or 4th copy. But I believe one day that the Young Bloods is going to be worth something. You know, maybe I'm, you know, pulling my own tail. But I believe that one day these comics will turn a profit. Hopefully. But anyway, yeah, cool Rob Liefeld cover. You already know about this comic book. You know, everybody has one. If you don't have one of these in your collection, what the heck have you been doing? But yeah, cool. Young Blood #1. So I just picked up this X-Men, it looks like it says Poptopia, or Poptopia. I picked this one up for 50 cents. That's, looks like Chamber on the front cover, or it might be Cannonball, because I don't remember Chamber has like a darker hair color. I think it's Cannonball. But yeah, I picked this up to fill in the holes, plug in the holes, and plug in the gaps. And the funny thing is about this one is the barcode is actually at the top of the book. One of my favorite artists is on the front cover. That's Ian Churchill. And yeah, for 50 cents, you can't beat that. So let's plug in those holes and plug in those gaps, ladies and gentlemen. So I was able to pick up this X-Men Legacy #1 for $1.95. Very happy about this because when it came out, I actually missed the #1. But I got a chance to go back and get it at Second and Charles. You know, Second and Charles is sometimes like a blessing. You know, not necessarily on the old school, crusty, dusty, silver ages, but definitely on some of the modern age books because, man, I don't even know where they got it from. There had to be a recent collection that somebody maybe turned in, but a lot of times Second and Charles will have 2 or 3 or 4 of a run that's not on the shelf anymore, and they'll just have it in the box, and you just go in there and you catch it. So I was very happy to get this X-Men Legacy #1, especially when the TV series is out right now. The TV series has gotten a lot of good reviews, and I like David Heller, Professor X's son. So, yeah, pretty cool. So another one I got is Teen Titans #26. I thought this was a pretty cool Superboy cover. Big fan of Superboy Prime. You know, Superboy Prime is actually one of the most powerfulest DC villains ever made. So definitely like this Teen Titans. So not only did I pick up this Teen Titans #26, but I was able to pick up this Teen Titans #50. Really cool cover, man. Definitely like this. Also picked up this Terminator, Hunters and Killers, #2. I really don't pick up a lot of Terminators, but I thought this cover was cool for 50 cents. Why not? So, yeah, Dark Horse. And look at this beautiful thing here. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which should be in my main events, but I just went ahead and threw it on in the video, you know what I'm saying? Because in this video, I got a couple main events. I think I got about 4 of them. So anyway, yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is Wildstorm Comics. It's #1. And yeah, pretty cool. Cool Leatherface cover. So I read a Thor story called God Killer. And it has Gorg, the God Killer, in it. And I actually became a fan of Thor, man. I've never really followed Thor very close because he used to talk in, you know, the King James kind of tongue, thou and thus and such. But yeah, I found this Thor #1 second printing. I remember the first printing was so hard to find, and everybody was going crazy over it in 2000. What, that was 2008, 2000, maybe 6. But yeah, I ended up finding this one. This is a second printing from Second and Charles for 50 cents. So why not? Because this book holds value still, even though it's a second printing. So not only did I get this Thor, but I end up picking up this Thor 448, which is a part of my childhood. I used to have this book. In the end of this book, Thor's in some kind of arena where he's fighting different people. And in the end, this guy says, hey, I introduce, you know, Loki, the god of mischief. And that's one of the people that Thor is going to have to fight. I was a big fan of this Thor. This is like the Thunderstrike Thor. I was more of a fan of the regular Thor and Donald Blake. So, yeah, pretty cool. And everybody thought Jane Foster was the first girl to don the Thor mantle. But nah, you actually have Thor Girl, which is pretty cool. This is an Andy Kubert cover. This is Thor. Let's see. Excuse the glare. Excuse the, you know, the darkness. This is, if you allow my sexy fingers to interrupt your video, this is Thor #33. So yeah, pretty cool. I always thought it was cool that Jane Foster wasn't the first girl to don the Thor mantle. Storm did too, from the X-Men. And lastly, in my Thor run, we have Thor #49, which is a very cool cover. The guy is actually holding, you know, Thor's skeleton of his head and his helmet. So yeah, man, pretty cool. What more could you ask for? Very cool. So we got 2 Night Thrashers #1. Very cool. I think this will be about my 3rd copy. I know my 3rd copy that's actually in the dungeon that I had in my childhood, I actually, you know, tore up. And the cool thing about this is if you look, it's kind of like a flaky kind of cover. You see that, how it flashes. And yeah, pretty cool, man. So we also have Night Thrasher #2. Very cool. I like my New Warriors, man. I like Night Thrasher. I always thought he was a cool character. Speaking of Night Thrasher, we have Nova, all gold cover. Definitely a 90s. Look at the mullet hanging out of the helmet. Come on, man. Really? But yeah, definitely had to pick that up because, you know, Nova and Night Thrasher are part of the New Warriors. So yeah, man, very cool cover. And keeping up with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Definitely got this Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street. Very cool comic, very gory. I don't think they can make, you know, a continuing series on it. I don't know who's going to buy it. But anyway, very cool, man. Definitely had to have this one to go along with my Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, yeah. People really trip out on Alpha Flight, but I've always been an Alpha Flight fan, so definitely jumped on the chance to get this Omega Flight. You have, what's his name? Dang, the Vindicator. You have the U.S. Agent, Spider-Girl. I'm not sure who the girl is. I think she might be like a shaman character. You also have Beta Ray Bill, who I'm a huge fan of for some reason. I don't know why. But I really do like Beta Ray Bill, even though he looks like a horse. So anyway, cool Omega Flight number 1. 1 out of 5. And coming out of the page of the Infinite Crisis, you have OMAC. So I just bought this book to go with my Infinite Crisis books. So yeah, cool Batman cover. So I definitely had to pick me up some DC showcases. So I got this DC showcase, which is number 12. Cool Nightwing, Robin, Creeper, and Green Lantern cover. And not only did I pick up number 12, but I got number 10 with Huntress, Katana, and Deathstroke on the front cover. Not only did I get number 10, but hey, I ended up getting showcase number 1. So very cool, man. Very happy to have these in my collection. The showcases kind of remind me of 52 Weeks or 52. So definitely going to pick these up if I get a chance to. Because it's part of my childhood in the 90s, so why not? Okay, now, welcome back. So next book I picked up was X-Men's Utopia. This is Dark Avengers and Uncanny X-Men. Marc Silvestri cover. So Marc Silvestri is one of my favorite artists in the whole wide world. And yeah. So I got that to go along with this. Okay, now we're at the point in the video where you ask me, hey, Fred Hall Direct Edition, what are you reading right now? And this is what I'm reading right now. This is the Avengers and X-Men Utopia. And in this storyline, what ends up happening is Cyclops, the X-Men mansion gets destroyed by, what was that, the Messiah Complex. You know, Bishop switching out and doing all this other kind of crazy stuff, and everybody trying to get their hands on Hope Summers. So, you know, Cyclops moves the team out to San Francisco, and they take Asteroid M, which was sunken into San Francisco Bay, resurrect it, and they call it Utopia. But this book is the beginning of Beast's downfall with the X-Men because, you know, Beast got captured and Professor X got captured, and Cyclops took his time to actually rescue him. And that's what started Beast on the downward spiral of, you know, splitting from the X-Men. So I really don't like what they're doing with Beast's character right now. He's one of the original X-Men. He should be right in the fold instead of fighting for the Inhumans or instead of fighting for the Avengers and all this other kind of crazy crap. But here's a cool look at the front of the book. And here's a really cool look at the back of the book. That's my boy Jay Lee. Oh my God, Jay Lee. His art style has evolved so nicely over the years. So definitely love that Jay Lee back, the back of the book cover. So let's get into your main events because I think we have about 3 of them. And for your first main event, we have Thanos number 1. You know, I was very proud that I picked up this book for about 50 cents at Second and Charles. And the reason why is because, you know, I went to Dave's the other weekend and he had this on his wall for about $5. So I was like, cool, man, I got a 50-cent book for $5. Challenge accepted. So yeah, Thanos #1 is your first main event. And your second main event is Captain Marvel #1, 1989. They really didn't know what to do with this character. But now she's in the Ultimates. And yeah, man, I really like this book. Really like the old school crusty dusties. You know, I like my #1s. And couldn't pass up on this book. How much did I get it for? For $1.25. So very cool, man. Might not be a main event to you, but it's a main event to me because of old school crusty dusty. But wait until you see your next main event. And for all you J. Scott Campbell heads, I've never seen this in anybody's video, or maybe I haven't been looking at all the videos like that. But definitely haven't seen this in anybody else's video. This is Avengers vs. X-Men Round 3, and it's not even called the variant cover. It's called the variant edition. J. Scott Campbell, and you also have a sketch of Carol Danvers, and you have the coloring in of Rogue. When I saw this book, and I'm not even a J. Scott Campbell fan, I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait to put this book on my channel. Cannot wait to have this book in my collection. Because J. Scott Campbell and, you know, I'm becoming a fan just because you guys are fans. You know, and I'm not a follower or anything, but I'm a fan of you guys' channel. So if you guys say, hey, J. Scott Campbell is the man, then hey, he's the man, you know. But definitely J. Scott Campbell and Adam Hughes. I definitely love Adam Hughes. I can see the hype over Adam Hughes. But anyway, I was very happy to pick this up. It has one of my favorite colors, which is green all in the background. And yeah, very cool, man. Very rare book. I think I got it for $5 at Second and Charles, $4.95. So yeah. So once again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Direct Edition. The channel is Fred Hall Direct Edition. Like, subscribe, and share for more cool videos. And remember, words of wisdom. Focus on the ones that show you love, the ones that don't show you love. Who cares about them? And I will catch you guys later. You be safe out there. Keep collecting. And remember, life is short. Peace!